And welcome here to UTAS Stadium for what promises to be a fantastic game. I'm Rob Soward and I'm joined by Matthew Chatwin. And the game we're bringing you shortly is the Ntfa Division 1 Reserves Grand Final between Lilydale and Old Scotch. And Matt, if you miss this, you get a chance to see it all again at 2 o'clock in the senior game where the two same sides do battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Rob, and wonderful to be here. It's going to be an interesting contest, this one. You've got an Old Scotch side that have gone through the regular season undefeated up until the first final where Lilydale have knocked them off and qualified through to the grand final first. And then Old Scotch have obviously made their way through because they've been the superior side in the competition throughout the season. But that's going to be an interesting dynamic, whether that gives Lilydale that boost that they've actually now beaten that side, whereas I've seen the Old Scotch coach come out during the week saying sometimes that's a loss you need to have because there's lots of stories where teams go through undefeated and then drop a grand final, so the monkey might be off the back and they come out and play freely like they've done all year. So it's going to be interesting to see which way things go, but obviously they want to set the tone for their senior side later on today as well. Sometimes that can be just the start that senior side needs, almost that one goal head start for that later game, so they want to set the tone for their club.
I think you've summed it up beautifully, and again, it's a big thing to go through a season undefeated and then drop your colours in the second semi. So Scotch obviously regrouped pretty well last week and defeated Evandale comfortably, as most people would have expected. But Lilydale would be running on top of the ground after getting them over them in that game, as you said. The thing for me, Matt, looking at these two team lists, and we'll be really, really honest here, I think there's a number of guys in both these sides that in any other side would probably be playing senior football, wouldn't they? There's some real quality amongst them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've done games in the last couple of years and we talk about some of these guys that have been outstanding servants for their clubs, fantastic senior players for a long time. I look at the name like Patrick Solsberger. He's been a fantastic local senior footballer for a long, long time. The mind's still sharp. The body's probably not as sharp as he'd like to be, but I know he's been a dominant force for this Lilydale side. He's just one example that jumps off the page for me, but there'll be a lot of players like that they probably can't do the things that they used to do, but still can do things very, very well, and that'll show here today.
Well, your timing's absolutely perfect when you say that, because George Walker's just about to have a shot on goal here. He's been terrific since coming back into this Old Scotch side. In fact, he played in the seniors in the second semi, so watch out for him in the goal square. I mean, for Lilydale, Jordan Harris is a name that is well known, I'm sure, to Northern Tasmanian footballers. Ntfa, obviously State League with Launceston, so watch out what he can do. I think leading goal kicker this year in this competition. But as you said beautifully, Matt, there are a number of players here who've been there and done that, and Daniel Ellis, I know, is one of those. We mentioned him. He was really important to them last year in this corresponding game against St Pat's. So the thing for me too today, I mean, we've done this for a few years, you and I always love to see different clubs represented. It's great to have that representation across the day, but when you've got a situation like this where both sides are in the seniors and the reserves, what it means, speaking bluntly, it's a fair dinkum contest, isn't it? You're not having a side that's stacked with senior players or guys that have been there all year miss out. These are the fair dinkum Monties for both sides, aren't they?
And absolutely. And sometimes you end up with situations, there'd be a couple of guys out there that might be very unlucky not to be playing at 2 o'clock, 2:30 here today, that might have a point to prove, or they might have a chip on their shoulder. So sometimes that can be an interesting mental challenge for some sides, depending on how many players you have in that situation, as to which way it goes. And it's small margins on these big occasions, but that mental battle about are you switched on to the contest and are you ready to go can sometimes be a crucial factor. And we touched on the team list here before. We did have late mail here that Callum Albert, I'm hoping I get that one correctly, the Lilydale captain, hasn't got up for today's game. I'm not certain if he was under a fitness cloud or anything like that, but he's been scratched off our team sheet. So it makes you wonder if that's a early blow that Lilydale would have preferred not to have.
Well, I think it probably is, because he's had a really, really good year. And just looking through the coach's notes, I mean, the coach, Jacob Crowden, has mentioned him in his notes about how important Callum Albrecht's been. So he's a big out. But again, on a day like today, it's the old mentality, isn't it? One soldier out, one soldier up. So I'm sure someone's got an opportunity to play. They wouldn't have, but thoughts are out to Callum Albrecht. I'm not sure either what happened there, Matt, but sad that he's not here today on the big day of days for the Demons.
The surface looks fantastic as well. Obviously, Launceston, we've been smashed with some rain and whatnot of late. My lawn is, I'm an avid lawn enthusiast, as you know, Rob. It's certainly looking nowhere near this surface here today. And there's been a bit of breeze throughout the women's game, just pushing towards the far side of the ground, not really favouring either end. But that is a factor on this big ground that is UTAS Stadium. The ball can get stuck on that far side of the ground. It makes it really challenging for you at rotations and getting fresh legs out on the ground. So teams will have to think about that, navigate that, so they get their best players on at the right time.
Yeah, and the wind does swirl a bit here too. The stands capture it. But speaking of stands, as the players are moving over for the formal start to the game, it's great to see so many numbers here, Matt. I'm sure when you walked in and when I came in, people from familiar faces, obviously supporters of both these clubs, but football lovers in general who love to come out and support days like today. There's obviously State League football semi-final tomorrow, but football lovers from everywhere are here today. So all's getting in readiness for the pre-game formalities and the national anthem and all those sorts of things. We can see on the monitor Scotch and Lilydale lining up.
I have got a score check for anyone that is tuning into our Division 1 games here today, but keeping an eye on the Premier League. Bridge North under-18s have defeated the St Pat's under-18s earlier this morning by 3 points.
Legend Les Arnold and Old Scotch legend Gray Fotheringham. Can I now invite the two captains for the toss of the coin? Captains, please. Les Arnold has the coin, Old Scotch have the call. Old Scotch win the toss and will kick to the city end. If you can now be upstanding for the national anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth of toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage of birds Australia bear. In joyful strains, then let us sing of birds Australia
Probably just as well for the listeners there, Matt, they cut away so they can't hear us singing the national anthem. We'd be losing people. But as you touched on, the ground in terrific shape. I'm going to put you on the spot in a minute, but I'll give you 30 seconds to have a think who your tip is. I think the ground will have a big part to play today in terms of which side plays this big ground better. I think our listeners and viewers sometimes don't realise how big this ground is. I think in dimensions-wise, it was bigger than the MCG, but it's, I think, second to the ground in WA. So whichever side handles the big open spaces of UTAS Stadium. Scotch did it last year against St Pat's. They ran out of legs, I think, the St Pat's boys last year. Who, Matt, are you going to tip today?
Runs on the board, I'm going to back in Old Scotch, going through the season undefeated. You don't do that by accident. So I imagine they will be the side that I'm going to hedge my bets on here today. But Lilydale obviously qualifying first. I know how hard their community will get behind their footy club here today, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was an upset, but I'd say Old Scotch would have to go in favourites.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you, Matt. I think Lilydale got nothing to lose. There's absolutely no doubt about that. They've got a little bit of doubt in the Scotchman's mind, in the Thistle's mind, but I'm going to go Old Scotch by 10 points, I think, in what will be a really, really good game of football. As we've said in the preamble that our listeners would have heard, there's certainly some depth in both sides. The top two sides all year, the best two sides are here today, and that's always great as well because it usually results, Matt, in a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. And a quick shout out to our umpires as well. I'll always like to acknowledge them, but they train just as hard as all the players. They get rewarded on grand final day, so fantastic effort for them to be rewarded with a selection to umpire today's grand final.
Yeah, beautifully said. And as Kevin Whisper Williams, if he's listening, always says every day's Umpire Appreciation Day. We'll be saying that today. All is in readiness here at the moment. Players are in position. Umpires just checking things out, so we're just waiting for final things to be locked in. The ball's in the air. Lilydale running right to left on your screen. And the ball goes up and the ruckman do battle. It's probably a draw, you take that one, but the Scotch are going to take that away. Beautifully picked off there by Lilydale. I thought I heard a whistle. Umpires found a free kick. And that's going to go Scotch's way. So they're going to have first look at it coming forward. That's a nice mark taken there by Josh Freestone. Again, one of those players who are probably unlucky not to be playing senior footy today. In the Walker direction, punched away from him. We talked about him before. Kept in nicely. That's okay. Probably a high tackle there. Umpire says play on. Ball in dispute just on the 50. Towed forward by the Scotch player. Found the boundary line. Umpire says that's a throw-in. Not insufficient intent, Matt, on that occasion.
You can see there's certainly a lot of nervous energy in players there. A couple of high tackles. They need to settle really quickly and make sure they're executing their skills to the best of their abilities.
Thought I heard a whistle there. I don't know where that whistle's from. Phantom whistles. It was Sulzberger hacks it forward. Lilydale will be pretty keen to get this out of here. Great pressure there from the Scotch forwards trying to lock it in. Ball's gone to open space. Bouncing around, gathered there by Krushka, tackled, and that's ball. Beautiful tackle. The Lilydale player there. He's not doing me any favours. I can sort of see it too. It's 21. No, it's not 21. Must be Dylan Russell. Mark taken there on the far side. That was Dwyer. Kay Dwyer. He's found a teammate. Little short, dinky kick. Ball just being worked around the boundary line there. Looks like Harris. Scotch keep it in. I'm not sure why you'd be desperate to keep it in there. It's going to come back to Lilydale. Shot on goal. First one on the board to the Demons. Oh, just the start they wanted. Just looking for the player there, the player number. Obscured when he kicked that. Did you see that one?
I missed it as well. Sorry, Rob. That all happened in a flash there. As you said, it was a strange decision by the Old Scotch defender to keep that ball in play. You would have thought boundary line is your friend there. We're about to have a look at the replay here. This will help us out.
Jordan Harris, I reckon. Just got the side on view of the number there.
I think we're right. I think it is Jordan Harris. So obviously being the leading goal kicker all season for this Lilydale side, someone Old Scotch would have liked to have kept quiet early. For him to kick the first goal of the game, you feel like that's a big start.
Ball goes up again and ruckman do battle. On this occasion, that was a nice tap down there to, I think that was Mackenzie. Lilydale again on the attack. Taken there, that was Declan Ellis. Goes in, and that's a really nice mark taken there by Grimes. Pumps the ball forward quickly in the Harris direction. This time the Scotch defenders use their friend the boundary line. Much wiser decision on that occasion, as we pointed out moments ago. Scotch error that led to that Lilydale goal. So 3 minutes in, Lilydale on the board, 1 goal straight 6 through Jordan Harris. Old Scotch yet to score. Sulzberger takes that out of the air.
He's got a free kick, I think, for a hold, and I like such a dominant ruckman. I like that he's going deep inside forward 50 to take those ruck contests, and you can see the Old Scotch ruck's got nervous because he is such a prominent player, giving away the free kick with a hold.
Yeah, and this certainly, if he converts this, Matt, this certainly won't be what Old Scotch wanted, that's for sure. To go down a couple of goals inside of 4 minutes, it's not the start you want in a grand final. You want to be on the other end of that. It's approaching, fairly makeable, 25 metres out. Moves in, always offline on that occasion. Could be a costly miss as Fryatt looks to bring it back in for Scotch. Nice long clearing kick out of defence. All clearing the pack there. Lilydale regather. They're well set up behind the footy. Beautiful tackle on that occasion. And the tackle has been rewarded. Ryan Sheriff, who was one of their best in the victory last year. Sheriff moves back across the middle of the ground. Umpires found another free kick there. And that'll go to Jeremy Toussaint. Plays on quickly inside 50 in the Walker direction. It's going to bounce short. Walker, smart, waits for it to come to him. That's a high tackle though. And Ricky Evans, I should say Josh Hawes, resulting free kick there for the Lilydale Demons. So a good start so far for the Demons. They've looked dangerous going forward. Scotch not really having a look at it as yet. Ball out on the wing position. Kept in again. Oh, fumble. Looked a bit casual, that Scotch player there. I don't think he was expecting it to come to him, was Xavier Quilliam. Umpires found a free kick.
Both sides are looking to move the footy at a rate of knots at the moment. That early nervous energy, you feel like as they settle, each team will start to show how they really want to play the game. Yeah,
and that's an example there of nervous energy. Max Foden has just kicked that straight to the Scotch Oakburn player there. He's going to send it back with a bit of interest, just outside the forward 50. Lilydale have got the numbers. He's been busy so far, Hawes. Ball boundary line wins out on this occasion. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 5 minutes gone. Lilydale 1-1-7. Old Scotch yet to score. Matt Chapman and I both in our tips thought Old Scotch might get the nod. But Lilydale with the best of the start so far. All in dispute on that wing position. Quick hack kick forward from Sheriff. Clears the pack. Bounces inside 50. Walker leading the race. Pushes his opponent off it. Kept in. Clever. Boundary line wins out. He did pretty well to disguise that one. He did the old arm inside the boundary line, even though he was almost in the second row back. Umpire not falling for that one, Matt. Not his first rodeo.
He's probably happy now with the intercept mark coming from the kick that they get a chance to now have the stoppage and have a second crack at it. So wins out in the long run.
Yeah, smart. Walker takes the ruck against Sulzberger. Sulzberger won that one. Clever little tap out there forward. That was Lilydale player who's I've lost his number there. That was Lachlan, I think that was. This is taken here on this occasion by Bailey Hawes. And again, like he did last time, he's picked the Old Scotch player and he's kicked it straight to the skipper, Ricky Evans. Evans moves it back quickly. Bit of end-to-end stuff here at the moment in the Walker direction. Can't hold that one. Lilydale come away with it. Clever. They just need to settle things down, like you said, Matt. They don't need to play at a million miles an hour. Opportunity there. He's paid the mark. Not sure that was a mark, but anyway, Matt Dingen won't argue with that. He moves the ball on quickly on that left foot back towards the middle of the ground. Scotch have got the numbers and should come away with it. Josh Hawes is in there. I mean, there's some great Lilydale names for you, isn't there?
I like the intention to try and switch play. You see both sides just going long up the line, but you can see the effect of trying to switch it into that breeze, with the breeze pushing towards the far side of the ground, just that kick not getting out in space.
Good physical pressure around the footy as well. Lots of tackles in there, players going nowhere.
Both teams sort of breaking even around the footy at the moment. No real advantage at clearance.
It was Hawes again. Lilydale trying to clear it out. It's going to sit. That's going to be okay. A little bouncy old scrubby kick forward. Lilydale player there. That was Foden, had it at his feet. It's going to go inside 50 through the agency of Watts. And a beautiful mark there to Jordan Harris. They really need to be wise to him. And as you said, Matt, in your earlier remarks, the leading goal kicker in this competition,
just really smart, a natural footballer there. He ducked out the back on his opponent, read the cues ahead of the footy, and just got himself into a nice little pocket of space to basically take an uncontested mark in the end. Going to be a tough finish from that pocket with that breeze, though.
Yeah, he hasn't got a lot of daylight to aim at. He struck it really nicely, though, but just offline on this occasion. Sends Lilydale on to 1-2-8. Scotch yet to score. So they've looked dangerous when they've gone forward, the Demons. And they're going to have another opportunity here through Jack Robinson. He goes short inboard there. That was in the Cade Dwyer direction. Butters up beautifully. Dwyer following his own ball. Could have been a free kick there against Dark. Looked like he took him high. Lucky on that occasion, Ben Dark. I reckon that's a finger.
Really struggling to move the footy at the moment, Old Scotch. When Lilydale get it forward, it seems to be very hard for Old Scotch to get it back out of that danger zone.
Yeah, they're setting up really well behind the ball. Dwyer, I reckon, has dislocated his finger. He's grabbing hold of it in back play. Umpire's found a free kick, and it's going to be a Lilydale free kick. Dangerous position. And that man, Jordan Harris, again. No, I was going to say he's claimed it, but I didn't see him involved in the play. He's thrown that back there to the ruckman, Patrick Sulzberger.
Had a shot from here not long ago. This one probably a bit closer.
And he makes no mistake. Makes no mistake on that occasion, Matt Chadwin. Sulzberger puts the second on the board for the Demons. They move on to 2-2-14. Just approaching the 10-minute mark here in the first quarter. Old Scotch yet to score, and I'd say some danger signs, Matt, for Old Scotch at the moment. They're struggling, aren't they, to just retain possession and set things up. Yeah,
absolutely. And I always talk about that mental side. You know, the Old Scotch side, we thought they were probably favourites coming in, undefeated side all year. Having a slow start like this after losing the first final to this opposition makes you wonder if the little man on the shoulder starts to say a couple of things here. They'd like to kick an early one, another one to settle.
Yeah, Sulzberger probably got the best of that one. So, Scott, you know, early days, no sign of panic, but Scotch will want to get on the board here, I reckon. They'll get an opportunity here. The ball's gone forward again for them, but Lilydale setting up across the back as they've done today. Nicely done on this occasion. That's going to miss the player. Scotch player drops the mark. Matt Russell felt a bit of physical pressure coming at him, but he's going to get a free kick on this occasion. In the wing position, Matt Russell goes higher than it goes further. Walker drops what he probably should have taken. Lilydale drive it out of there. Lilydale players spoil each other. Russell, opportunity, smothered. Freestone. Dark, that is, sorry. Similar hairdresser. Scott's trying to keep that in, but the boundary line wins on this occasion, just in front of our commentary position.
Lilydale pressure is outstanding, and Scotch have not had the opportunity to change lanes or change the direction of the ball movement. It's all long down the line for Old Scotch at the moment, and that defence that we spoke about setting up so well.
Boundary throw in. Sulzberger been good so far. Scotch just not clean at the moment. Had first hands on there. Dark with a tackle. Nice tackle. Unlucky not to be rewarded. The Lilydale player just let that go. That's probably the difference, Matt, at the moment for me. Lilydale just seem to be cleaner. Scotch just fumbly.
Yeah.
Got to tidy that up.
Certainly not a conditions-based thing. It's a wonderful day out there. A bit overcast, but beautiful footy conditions.
Says my ball. And while we're waiting, we'll just give a shout out to our sponsors who make days like today possible. The Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, MCMF, Jay Bogan's son, Armstrong's Insurance Brokers, Cleanaway, Jeremy Wilkinson and LRF Sport, all wonderful sponsors and supporters of the Ntfa and their finals. So thank you, those organisations, for what they do, and support them if you can, because without support for community sport, we don't have it, Matt, do we?
No, absolutely, and yeah, we thank them for their support. Some of those have been long-time supporters of the Ntfa, so it's wonderful to see.
Lilydale again come away with it from stoppage. All bobbling around. Russell for Scotch. That was Evans. Oh, fumble there on that occasion. Will Gray. Just not clean at the moment, Scotch. Got to tidy it up. Here's an opportunity. They'll get a clean look inside 50 here. Is that going to carry? Oh, Scotch player taken out. Lilydale again being terrific across the back. Tom Grimes again. Scotch will have another opportunity. No opposite foot on that occasion, but Daniel Ellis, highly skilled player, drives it forward, bouncing around. It'll bounce through. Ellis, what a goal. Oh, fantastic, Matt Chapman. We talked before the game about how these old heads go about it, and there's probably not too many smarter footballers on the ground than Daniel Ellis. What an inspirational goal for Old Scotch.
And we see the replay here. That this football has bounced not at right angles. I reckon that's almost 110 degrees. It was going away from goal and bounced back towards and in. I don't know if it's exactly what he was aiming to do. It looked more like a set-up kick, but he's not going to complain about that. The result is all that matters in the end.
I'd be suspecting, Matt, if they win the game and they're watching this in the club rooms tomorrow, he will say, I did that on purpose.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No doubt that will be the case.
Well, just the goal they needed, Scotch, and through the inspirational foot of Daniel Ellis, one of their most highly decorated and experienced players. I remember he was terrific in the corresponding game last year. What have Lilydale got in return? Scotch up and about, another inside 50. Gone over Walker's head, ridden into the ground. Umpire says player, holding the ball. Not sure about that one. The umpire's always right, as they say, but I don't really think he had an opportunity there. But anyway, the umpire disagrees, and a relieving flick taken there by Bo Tuthill, another long-standing Lilydale player. They're happy to go around the flank, Lilydale. And that ball's seen over the boundary line.
So I think we're about to see the goal here. The kick's coming in. I think he's aiming for the top of the goal square. A bit of breeze might have a factor in that as well. And it's turned at absolute right angles and gone through exactly as he'll tell everyone he meant to do. I'm dubious, but we'll give him credit.
Yeah, you claim it, that's for sure. And why wouldn't you on the biggest day in September? So not too long to go here. At the moment in the first quarter, well through things. Lilydale 2-2-14, Old Scotch 1 goal straight 6. Probably really from their only really good look at it, other than that opportunity a moment ago where Walker gave that free kick away for holding the ball.
It's probably how they want to move the footy, I imagine, though, Old Scotch. They started on the right half-back flank, got it through the middle of the ground to the left half forward. It was fumbly, but it's probably the way they want to move it.
Yeah, I think you're right, and they just looked better when they had that clean look at it. I mean, that scrubby stuff that they were trying before was just letting Lilydale set up, and they've set up beautifully. That match-up between Bailey Hawes and George Walker, I think, is going to be a pivotal one. Lilydale surging it forward at the moment. Russell for Scotch. He's had a bit of it in this first quarter. They're trying to clear it out of here. Oh, beautifully smothered on that occasion there. Scotch players doing really, really well. Not clean at the moment, and that's on the back line of the centre square.
Starting to get late in the quarter with the play getting stuck on that far side of the ground a lot. You want to make sure from a coaching group you get your rotations right, get the right players in the right spots at the right time. So it's really important that they get that right while they've got the opportunity with the footy so close to the bench.
Yeah, and you made that, that's a high tackle. I think that's going to come back, that one. I think you're right. Bit of a Bronx cheer there. I think the supporters were happy with the tackle was on O'Loughlin. Umpire's picked a free kick out. Free kick there to Scotch. Not really sure why you do that. Dark, trying to keep it in, make it look a bit better than it was. Just that it wasn't really on. You know, you've got to be smarter.
Well read by the Lilydale player, and we're starting to see a bit of spite in this contest as well, a bit of off-the-ball action and whatnot. It's clear that both these top sides don't have a great deal of love for each other.
No, they don't, and I'm sure we'll see that in the seniors as well. The two dominant sides of the year. Free kick there to Dark. Umpire wants him to go back. Going to see what happened there. A bit of a Bit of an ear massage. That led to the Bronx cheer, I think. Crowd heavily involved there at the moment. Lilydale will have another look at it. And inside 50, dropped what he should have taken perhaps. Good pressure there from the Scotch defence. I reckon that'll be out on the full. And it is. Beautiful pressure there. Exerted on Will Clark, who made the error. Plays on quickly. Does Brent Hammersley. Sends it to the top of the square. Whoa, mark there to Harris. Scotch player protesting. Xavier Quillam said I had some hands on that. Interesting to see if we get a replay on that one. But Jordan Harris, he's been unstoppable up there. Here we go. We'll have a little look.
I think the decision's been made for front-on contact.
Yeah, you're spot on.
It's always a tough one, that one. The player's got eyes on the ball. He's coming back with the flight. Some would say it's courageous, but you can't make contact to the front of the player either, so it's a hard one.
You wouldn't expect Jordan Harris to make any mistake from that distance, Matt, and he's duly put that over the goal umpire's hat. Lilydale move on to 3-2-20. Old Scotch 1 goal straight 6, and that's Harris' second of the quarter.
And late in the quarter, you feel like that's crucial just to set the tone. They're going to go in here in the not too distant future, really confident that their prime goal kicker has got a couple on the board early.
Yeah, they've certainly got to get that match-up right, because his smarts, he's one of those classic players you talked about, Matt, that, a little bit older now, perhaps not as fast as he once was, but with that drop-off in pace comes that extra wisdom, doesn't it? That experience brings. Ball back in the middle. Jack Foden has given Sulzberger a bit of a chop out. Scotch are going to get a look at it inside 50. Clears the pack, bobbling around there in the Evans direction. Ball beats him. Crowden leading in the race. Ball fortuitously sits for Scotch. Heads towards goal. Lilydale have got the numbers. Is it going to sit for him? They've got the numbers around the footy. Good pressure around the footy, and it goes out of bounds. Ellis asking the question, suggesting perhaps that could have been a free kick. The umpire not having any of that though. 20 and a half minutes gone in the first quarter here. Ntfa Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. Lilydale 3-2-20. Old Scotch 1 goal straight 6. Scotch will want to make the most of this opportunity. They haven't had a lot of inside 50s, good inside 50s. Walker with a fend. Ball bobbling around. Good pressure from Lilydale. Umpire says my ball. Great to see that pressure around the footy, Matt.
Absolutely, and a well-executed tackle to make sure that you protect the player with their head over the footy as well, which is also crucial.
Goes up. Walker does battle for Scotch, chases his own ball, feeds it out. Russell heads inside 50. Oh, almost a mark there. Hawes clears it out quickly. Well done, Hammersley. Ball bobbling around in space here in front of us. Fright leads the race for Scotch. He's ridden, and the umpire's high tackle. Looks like umpire Maxie Walker heads inside 50, goes over the teammate's head. Lilydale trying to clear it out. Scotch got a runner. Shot on goal and offline on this occasion. Oh, he had more time than he thought, Jeremy Towson, on that occasion. It's always that thing, isn't it, Matt, when they sort of run away from goal, the ball's going to follow where your leg's running to.
We spoke, right as our quarter time siren goes there, we spoke about that Old Scotch defence being really well set up all quarter, but those repeat stoppages can cause them to scramble. So that's what Old Scotch will try and discuss here at quarter time as we head towards our huddles. Lilydale with 3 goals, 2 behinds, 20 points to Old Scotch 1-1-7.
And for those of you who are wondering who the goal scorers are, if you've just joined us, Jordan Harris leading all comers on the ground, of course, with 2 for Lilydale. He's been terrific so far. And Patrick Sulzberger, who has also had a great first quarter, he's the other goal scorer for Lilydale, whereas for Old Scotch, the goal scorer Daniel Ellis with a fantastic shot that I think it was a bit of a doozer when it hit the ground, Matt, and bounced through Julie. So quarter time, Lilydale 3-2-20, Old Scotch 1-1-7.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Imagine the possibility of selling beyond expectations. We're here to make that a reality. Harcourts, we make it possible.
Well, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall in both those huddles, but I reckon, Matt, if I was going to toss a coin and say which coach would be a little more disappointed, might be the Scotch one. I just don't think they were as clean, and I think Lilydale's physicality around the ball, as you highlighted a couple of times, would certainly be pivotal to that.
Absolutely. I feel like the Lilydale pressure when they haven't had the footy is probably the difference in the game at the moment, causing Old Scotch to fumble, to cough up the footy, to make decisions that they probably don't want to make with the footy in hand, and a lot of kicking long down the line to a well set up Lilydale defence. So from a Lilydale coaching group, you'd be asking them to keep that pressure, which is much easier said than done. So as legs start to get tired here, it'll be interesting to see if that pressure can stay at the same level or whether it allows Old Scotch to settle, use the footy the way they want to, and start to move the footy with a bit more purpose.
Yeah, Lilydale have been really, really good. Again, as we sort of said before the game, we both, in our tips, we sort of said we thought that the Scotch might get it done. But Lilydale have got nothing to lose, and they've certainly come out and thrown everything at them in that first quarter. So it'll be interesting to see if that energy continues for the second term, which is about to get underway shortly. That breeze looks like it's sort of gusting up and down, and we're expecting some rain late morning, early afternoon, so we'll see if that eventuates. And as I say that, the sun comes out. Sulzberger back in the middle for Lilydale. Hawes trying to clear it out. Towed off the ground by Scotch. Nice mark taken across the back on that occasion by Bailey Hawes. He moves it out, switches play out to the commentary side of the ground. All bouncing around in the bright sunshine. Dark leads the race. Ball bobbling around in the middle. Back to Dark. That's not his best work. Chopped off across the middle there by Lilydale in Hammersley. Inside 50 for them. Scotch player leading the race for the ball. Fryatt. Happy to see that ball out of bounds. What they do with Harris will be interesting here, Matt. I'm just having a bit of a look there at what that matchup is, because they've got to get that right.
He's playing a bit of Ringer Rosie as well. I think if he gets a matchup he likes, he's starting to pull himself a bit deeper, playing out of the goal square, whereas there's times where he's got up high around 50 trying to use his smarts.
Scotch will want to get this out of here, and they do. contest on the wing. Kept it in. I don't know why they do that. I'm a bit of a, let the boundary line be your friend when you can. It led to the first goal they conceded there. Scotch player clipped a bit high, gets up slowly.
Keeping an eye on Ricky Evans ahead of the footy as well. He copped a big bump after that centre clearance. The trainer's been talking to him for some time. I think they're going to want to try and get him off and test him, which would be a big blow.
Yeah, it would be. That's a nice mark there to George Walker. A long way from home. Goes across the centre square. All bouncing around. Russell. And that's a really nice mark taken there by Freestone. Like he was going to play on there, but no, he goes back. He's looking for a shorter option, and he's found one. And that's nicely done. Good work off the footy there, Jeremy Toosen.
They'll be disappointed with that, Lilydale. We've spoke about how well set up they've been all day, but just a momentary lapse in concentration. Everyone dropping towards the goal square, expecting that long shot. And you understand because it might fall short. You want to get numbers to the fall of the footy. But these players just popped up into a nice bit of space and he's having a shot on goal.
We're right behind him as he moves in Tucson. That was always right. I don't even know if it's going to get the trip. Marked behind the goal line. On that occasion by Ellis, and that's one behind. So you've got to do better from there. That's certainly very makeable. Breeze probably wasn't his friend on that occasion. Clearing kick out of defence. Should have been a mark there to Lilydale. Drop what they should have taken. Again, that theme of being a little bit fumbly. I don't know whether the ball might be a bit sticky. It's a bit blowy. Players certainly dropping marks they should have taken. All up right on the 50. Down by Lilydale. Demons trying to come away. Scotch on the bottom of the pack. Player flipped over.
I think we've got a look at the Ricky Evans hit here as well. He's a bit of a sling tackle, and I think they're worried about the head hitting the ground. So I've seen quite a lengthy conversation between him and the trainer. I'm not certain if he's still out there.
Good physical pressure around the footy. Lilydale come away with it. Scotch player slips over. Crucial. So yeah, we hope he's okay. As you've said, he's really important. Bit of afters there as well. Bit of push and shove. Alex McKenzie involved in that one. Not having any nonsense. Sulzberg, a huge punch, almost as good as a kick. Dark gathers, nicely done. He's tackled there by Dwyer. Again, some long servants of both clubs there, the Darks and the Dwyers, for their respective teams. Toe forward there on that occasion. That was Matthew Humphrey. He was good last year. I want him to deliver the same today. Scotch look to play on quickly. That's Freestone again. He's been busy at the start of this quarter. Misses his target. It's McKenzie. Sorry, Lee, I think that was. Lilydale defence trying to regroup. They've got time.
Downfield free kick. Croden was dealt with after he got disposed of the footy, so that's what that whistle might have been off camera.
And I did hear a whistle. Nicely picked up, Matt. Lilydale working that boundary line. Scotch fist on it. That was Humphrey. Oh, beautifully tackled there. Holding the ball. Great pressure. Too slow on that occasion. Stephen Blizzard. Free kick there to Watts. Great work from Tyson Watts on that occasion. His kick's just slightly off the mark. Alex McKenzie tries to get it out of there. Ball just sitting right on the arc of 50. So slow start to this second quarter. Scotch adding the only score so far behind. Makeable goal missed by Toosen. 5.5 minutes gone. Meanwhile, all up at the other end, and that's holding the footy. Scotch are taking the advantage through the agency of Russell. Russell goes back to early. Swings onto his right boot, drives him forward. Scotch player body worked off it. Lilydale comes away clever. Good pressure. Oh, holding the ball. Quick whistle on that occasion.
Lilydale defence have been fantastic at covering one another, coming off their opponent and helping out. And that's where Scotch's fumbliness is allowing that to happen.
Ball in a dangerous position here for Lilydale at the moment. But as you said, Matt, they regroup pretty well. That's Sheriff, strength. He's been tackled high. Played advantage. Oh, and a high tackle there in the goal square on Walker. I think that was always there. He's copped one right across the bridge of the nose. So we'll see that here in a moment. Good pressure around the footy. Walker's copped one right across the beak. Little birdie tells me before the game, Matt, that they win today. This is his 7th premiership in all grades. George Walker can't miss from there. Sends it into the crowd. Just the start Scotch wanted.
It was Ellis again with his smarts that got the front and centre and had the shot on goal that just fell short to Walker with the front on contact. As we see the replay here.
It's high around the neck and across the schnoz. So
you could argue he made sure the umpire seen it, but I think the contact was definitely there. You can understand why Hawes was probably not thrilled with the decision, but probably above the shoulder, as you said. And I grabbed the pen early, but I did make sure that he kicked it first before notching it down on my sheet here before. You never know, but was never going to miss from there.
He's money in the bank, George Walker. He'll be telling me about that next week, I'm sure, when I see him around the traps. Lilydale still getting it done, 3-2-20. No addition to their quarter time score. Old Scotch 2-2-14. Just waiting for that to update on the screen, which is just done.
Not certain if that was a 6-6-6 infringement or an early break infringement, but a free kick straight from the centre of the ground before the ball was thrown up.
The pressure's lifted a notch here too, Matt. Jack Foden captured on that occasion, holding the ball.
You get the feeling Old Scotch might have copped a bit of a rev up at quarter time. They've come out with real ferocity.
Bit of candy around Foden there. Kick's not the same level as the footwork. It's been turned over and we've got the ball back in dispute. McKenzie leads the race. Blind turn. Russell beats him. Lilydale players spoil each other. No talk on that occasion. Fried happy to escort that one over the boundary line. I thought Ryan Butt was going to come away with that then, but teammate spoiled him.
Oh, that's a big bump.
There's a big bump. He's hit him right on the beak. Sheriff with strength. Scotch are out. Oh, great chase down tackle. That's fantastic play on that occasion from Ryan Butt. Couple of good moments for him. Another inside 50. Just probably not as smart on their inside 50s the last couple, Lilydale. Lets it bounce. Dangerous position. Scotch have got the numbers round, ridden into the ground. Great pressure around the footy. That's holding the ball. Advantage play on in the Harris direction. They were smart on that occasion, Old Scotch. Will Clark dropped off his opponent and sat back in front of Harris, but that's not his best kick. It's going to come back in. It's going to come back in with a bit of interest. Offline on this occasion. Game probably had a bit more time.
It might be hard to see off camera, but Old Scotch are generating a bit of a spare across half back. It's been the playing coach himself in Crowden is getting himself loose a lot. So Old Scotch are breaking out, but can pick up that spare, don't know who to kick to, and that's where we've seen those last couple of rundown tackles from Lilydale generating that spare. So they actually need a bit more composure, slow the ball movement down so that they can work their way around that spare player.
Yeah, it's beautifully said. Sometimes it's just easy. You rush of blood and not having a look, and usually ends up being kicked to the spare.
One of those advantage about having a player coach as well, that you can make that move on field at the time, and he's doing it himself. He's sitting off the back of the contest on the long sleeves here, Crowden, completely on his own, being a real roadblock for the way Scotch want to move it.
Yeah, and he's another player when we talk about smarts. He's certainly got it in spades, that's for sure. So they haven't added to their quarter time total yet, Lilydale. I mean, we've talked about the breeze. It's certainly breezy out there. It's sort of more a bit of a cross ground job. And as we've said here, it does swirl with the stands. It's not too often you come here and it just blows from one goal square to the other.
Bit of movement in the goalposts as well. Whenever you see the goalpost shaking, you know there's definitely a strong breeze. It's not just a little blow.
Quick kick forward there for Scotch, and threatening opportunity. Walker got there first. Didn't quite hang on to it. All bobbling around a dangerous position. Comes out back to Walker. Out of bounds on the full. Great pressure. The pressure from both sides, but particularly Lilydale, has just been outstanding. I guess the thing for me, Matt, big ground. Are you able to withstand that pressure for the full 4 quarters?
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel if either side drop that pressure at any point in time, that's when we're going to see a goal or two. Momentum's so crucial in footy, so both teams need to keep that pressure up or they're going to allow their opposition a chance.
Scotch with another opportunity, smothered. I think, reflecting on the last couple of grand finals we've called, Matt, it's been probably the fitter side that's won on the day, because the games usually start frenetically, and whichever side can keep their composure the longest is usually the side that is collecting the cup at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Both sides the last couple of years have had momentum across the first 2.5, 3 quarters, and then there's one side that just seems to run away with the game. So who can do it best for the longest is probably the key.
Scotch, you're out. That was early. Goes towards the ring. The wing. Towns pushed under the footy on that occasion. I don't think you can argue with that. It sounds like the Lilydale supporters aren't happy, but I think that was always there. It's inside 50 in the Walker direction. 1 bite, 2 bites, can't hold it. Sulzberger gets himself involved. Obviously dropping back there, Patrick Sulzberger.
Starting to look very dangerous though, Walker. He's looming large, getting his hands to a couple of contests. They want to make sure they get that match up tight.
He's a difficult matchup with his athleticism. Ellis swings onto that left foot. Freestone just bobbles in front of him and copping a bit of pressure there from Josh Streets, the Lilydale defender, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Freestone's got that knee heavily strapped. He's had a bit of a history of knee problems. Very good soccer player in his youth. Lilydale clear it out. It's going to be okay. Toby Matthew.
It's a really clever kick. Had no one out wide to kick to, so went with the outside of the foot back into the corridor. Robinson, and now play's opening up. Robinson
to McLaren through the centre of the ground. Nice passage of play, Lilydale. This is as good as they've looked for a while. Inside 50 in the Harris direction. McKenzie with him. Ball bouncing around. Harris reads it better. Oh, beautifully done, McKenzie. Timely fist. Fry it. Picks it up. Tackled. Gets rid of it. Nicely done. They get it out of there. Scotch player unfairly dealt with, as you can probably hear that through the effects, Mike. Will Clark caught one a little bit late. Resulting free kick up on the wing, taken quickly by Krushka. Back through the centre of the ground. That's Russell. He's been busy and he's going to win himself a free kick there, ridden into the ground, close to the man on the mark. Not his best work. There we go, just belting that out of there. Russell pushed off the footy. You'd probably say, Matt, just looking at probably being a bit general here, but Lilydale bigger, stronger bodies, you'd probably say. Scotch probably not matching them in that department generally.
No, and that's where you think they might have the advantage in terms of the running capacity, because obviously those bigger bodies take a bit more energy to move around at such a big ground. As we see a breakaway from stoppage here, and he's been called for running too far, which... Yeah, that's always the reaction when you see that decision, but he did have the footy for a long time, so you can understand that.
Yeah, gee, I don't like criticising the umpires. I reckon that was a bit harsh. I didn't count the steps, but I think he probably looked like he ran a long way, but just with he was so clean and...
The flowing mullet as well might have added an extra couple of metres where the umpires misinterpreted where he actually gathered it from.
He might have measured that in the mullet. That's chopped off across the back there by Robinson. He's been good back there for them today. So that was Crowden, I should say. Robinson's been good as well. Moved out quickly. Diving mark. I thought he took that, but no. Scotch player legged. Swing and a miss handball there from Freestone. Thought there was more miss than swing, but anyway, have another look at that one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's stiff. That is stiff.
Probably unlucky there.
I reckon the mullet got him. Beautiful mark taken there by Harris. Beautiful use of his body there against Will Gray. Just gave him a nudge, didn't he, at the last moment, protected the drop and took a nice mark.
Really good kick inside 50 as well. Just 1 metre to the advantage of the forward side. A player with this much skill like Jordan Harris, as well as strength to hold his position and then push off, timed it to perfection. Nice, easy chest mark.
Well, it's probably their only look so far in this quarter. 17 minutes gone from Harris. Heads home, offline. They haven't really had a good look at it. That's probably been the best of it. And unfortunately for the Demons, he's offline. Dark takes it quickly. Just inside the boundary line there by Josh Lyon.
I feel like from a Lilydale perspective, they wouldn't mind another forward just to pop up and give them another option. It's almost Harris or nothing at the moment.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful call, Matt, because that makes them a little one-dimensional, doesn't it? Scotch off quickly, Brodie early, using his pace. I reckon that's probably a free kick for 2 early or unrealistic, whatever you like. Umpire doesn't see it. He's paid a holding free kick the other way. Like I said, you don't like to be critical of the umpires, but there was absolutely no way known that player was going to mark that. Crowden pumps it down the line, pushed off at Dark, clever use of his body. End-to-end ping-pong stuff at the moment. Lilydale players spoil each other. Quick kick forward on that occasion.
Composure is going to be really important. We're getting late into the second quarter. There's going to be some tired bodies out there. You don't want to have to turn and chase for a poor skill error or a poor choice. So you've got to make sure players choose the right option.
Scotch are going to have another look at it. It's going in the Walker direction. It's a really good battle up there, Walker and Hawes. Umpire's picked out a free kick. We'll have another look at that there through the rule. There's absolutely no way in the world he was going to mark that, was there?
No, I suppose the umpire might have had a bob each way and called a bit of tunnelling as well, so perhaps just let play unfold.
Nothing to see here, gentlemen, as it were. Dangerous position here. Lilydale want to get this out of here. Ball top of the 10-metre square. Quick throw on the boot. Oh, that's a goal! What a fantastic goal from Humphrey. Playing like a small forward.
I think he just snuck on from the bench and ran straight to the full forward area. You wouldn't think a player of that size would be able to sneak out the back unopposed. You'd feel like someone would have to see him, but he's snuck up like a librarian on the contest, as the saying goes, and very crafty little snap, and that's a goal. And that's, you feel Old Scotch have a few more options in terms of avenues to goal at the moment, whereas Lilydale, it's Harris or bust. So that's where, coming into this halftime break, Lilydale need to find someone else ahead of the footy that's going to give them that option.
And just highlighting what you said there, Matt, he's gone into the ruck, Matt Humphrey. He obviously has been giving a bit of a chop out there, so he's not a hobbit, is he? I don't know how they missed him. Another inside 50 here for Scotch. Holding, the umpire's paid holding there. I think that'll be against Scotch. Or it was George Walker. No, he's moved away from it, and the Lilydale defender takes a relieving free kick, and that's taken there by Dylan Russell. Just inside the boundary line, late stages of this second term. Lilydale 3-3-21, not adding any goals to their quarter time score. Old Scotch 3-2-20. Blockbuster first half here in terms of on the scoreboard. Not much separating these two sides. Neither side would want to concede a score here, Matt, at this stage of proceedings. Not long to go.
Conversely, if they do, you feel like that's a massive boost heading into the halftime huddle, that if they do. So they both want one, but don't want to concede one.
Brings Snow, that kick, gone very high. I'll have a look at it just outside 50. Ball bounces. Scotch gather. Red and blue jumpers all around that. You're not going anywhere, says Max Lumsden. Right on the chalk of 50. Big bash forward there from Walker. Scotch just funneling it forward. Nice mark there in the last line of defence. Taken by Lilydale. They clear it out the far side of the ground. Misses the target. Almost gave it to him. Fumbly play there. Will Clark handled it a couple of times. Ryan Butt sees it over the boundary line. Approaching 22 minutes in this second term. Lilydale, the conquerors of the undefeated Old Scotch in the second semi, up by a point at the moment. In the shadows of half-time, and that's the siren as we head into half-time. Lilydale 3-3-21, Old Scotch 3-2-20. And as we leave you for the break, we'll deal with the goal kickers. Jordan Harris leading all comers, 2 goals. Patrick Sulzberger, they're the Lilydale scoring team. And for Old Scotch, all singles, Daniel Ellis, Matt Humphrey and George Walker. So Rob Soward and Matt Chadwin here at UTAS Stadium, Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. And it's a close one, Matt. Lilydale 3-3-21, Old Scotch 3-2-20. Some remarks from you just before we go to half-time.
Yeah, so without stating the obvious, it's obviously very close here. Both huddles would be happy with how they've started, but they've obviously got a few things they'd like to fix up. So the coaching groups will go to work here now, and we'll see what we come back with in the third quarter.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Imagine the possibility of selling beyond expectations. We're here to make that a reality. Harcourts, we make it possible.
Welcome back here. Half-time score, just as a refresher. Lilydale 3-3-21. Old Scotch 3-2-20. Matt, and as Murphy's Law would go, as half-time beckoned and I went down to get my steak sandwich. Down came the rain. But Riverside Lions Club doing their usual job on the steak sandwich. It's absolutely fantastic. And now the sun's out.
Yeah, if you've gone away like Rob did over the break, you might not have realised things have changed, but there was quite a substantial shower over the break. So there'll be quite a bit of moisture on the ground here, which will be interesting to see which side that favours. You felt like as that quarter went on, Old Scotch was starting to get on top. Their running prowess was starting to come to the fore. But the big bodies of Lilydale might benefit from the slippery footy, a few more contests and whatnot.
And we're underway. Business resumes in the third quarter. Sulzberger taps it away, but cleaned up by Dark. First foray forward for Old Scotch. Chopped off across half-back. Hawes gets it out quickly. Just doesn't quite sit on that occasion. That was Hammersley. Butters up, toes it back into the middle. Lots of numbers around that slippery footy. He's going again, Hammersley. And pulling his best Ronaldo out there.
Territory is going to be very important early in this quarter, you feel. It's going to be hard to move the footy in why it's a bit slippery. So getting advantage on those clearances, getting it inside your forward 50 is going to be crucial.
When those guys played in the second semi, I think it was at Hillwood, and it had been a wet week that week. So, pardon me, so wet weather footy, so important. Not trying to play it like a dry day. They'll get an inside 50 here. Hawes, dangerous position. It's going to be Harris out the back. How was he there unmanned? Jordan Harris. Well, we talked about Humphrey just sort of appearing, but Harris, no one anywhere near him, Matt.
It's almost the equaliser. We've seen Dan Ellis in the first quarter get a miracle bounce. Well, Jordan Harris almost had communications with that footy. It's bounced at right angles straight into his lap. His opponents ran towards the contest not reading that bounce. And as you said, a very easy snap for a player of that calibre. I don't know whether he's just speaking to the football or commanding it, but for that to land in his lap and predict that so well just goes to show that natural footy smarts that we've been talking about all day. And that's his third as well, which is a big effort. Just
the start we want here from Lilydale, that's for sure. Umpires picked a free kick out there. I think that one's going to come back. Bit of push and shove. Evans not happy there. I think there was Dingen. Fry it. The wing. Sheriff. Searching ball inside 50. Lilydale players almost spoil each other. But that was Bailey Hawes on that occasion. Back out towards the wing. Hammersley. Clever. It's going to sit nicely there for Dylan. That was Dylan Russell. Free kick there. To be taken by Jasper Krushka in the wing position. Early stages of this third term. Sun shining at UTAS Stadium. Oh, beautiful juggling mark taken on this occasion by George Walker. We said, Matt, in that second term he came into it a bit, didn't he? Kicked a good goal and looked dangerous, and he's taken a good mark just on the paint of 50 there.
It's been a fantastic contest because I feel like Bailey Hawes has also been very, very influential, dropping off him and played a really good role across half back, but Walker's also starting to loom large.
Important for Walker, probably on the edge of his journey here. Powerful leg, strikes it nicely, heads it goalwards. That's going to be all right, George Walker! Oh, just the start Scotch wanted. There's the reply to that early goal from Harris. It's about taking the most of your opportunity, isn't it? And George Walker's certainly done that. A nice mark, a beautiful goal from just inside 50.
Didn't generate a great deal of momentum. It was just a real casual walk in and a bit of an arc at the last moment, but made the distance quite easily. So clearly got quite a long leg on him, and that'll give him some fantastic confidence. I think he's starting to loom quite large in that forward 50. And we spoke about for Lilydale, it's Harris or bust, whereas Scotch are getting a few more options. Walker's popped up, Ellis has popped up. So they need to keep themselves really well organised down back Lilydale.
Yeah, and they've got Tuddle on Ellis, which is a nice matchup. Tuddle, an experienced player, can play that stopper role because Ellis is very dangerous, very smart player. Obviously been an elite player at the top level. Would have been a teammate, I reckon, of Jordan Harris somewhere along the way at Launceston. And now plying his trade for Scotch.
Dumping tackle free kick paid in Lilydale's favour in the middle of the ground, so they're going to get the opportunity to send the footy forward.
Gingen, that left boot, he's almost picked out Mackenzie there. So I'm not really sure, it wasn't his best work going forward. Sulzberger sort of gesturing how he would have liked that one coming in. Almost 5 minutes gone, Lilydale by a point. That half-time margin still in place. Both sides have added a goal. Scotch looking to break away here, and they'll do so. They'll be careful bouncing that on that slippery turf. Inside 50. Beautifully chopped off there. Tuthill in front of Ellis. He's kicked it straight back there. Turned it over on this occasion to Lee. He's had a little bit of it in this third term. Lee, bobbling ball there. Tuthill. Oh, Scotch dangerous. Walker almost a chest mark. Ellis feeds it out. Clever little tap. Freestone, shot on goal. Offline. So as you said, Matt, they've got more options around the goals, haven't they? They've just got some dangerous players there that Lilydale have got to be really mindful of. And
that, it goes to show that when you put them under pressure, and there was a bit of the beast of the honeypot there, you're seeing numbers on the outside from Old Scotch because they were able to feed it out to an open snapper. So that just that repeat entry, put them under the pressure for a long period of time. That's a really bad mistake there. Scotch are going to have a shot on goal. He's just not hit that. Got that in the belly of the ball. It's gone higher than it's gone longer. Fumble from Lilydale. Shot on goal. Bit of a wobbly old kick on that occasion. And that's Tuthill again with a very timely mark. A couple of good bits of play there from Tuthill back there. He's got that crucial match up on Ellis that we've talked about. That Scotch kick's going to be out of bounds on the full. Bit of a role reversal early in this third. We spoke about how the fumbliness has really stood out. Well, I feel like at the moment Scotch are looking the much cleaner of the two sides, and that's turning into territory advantage here at the moment. So Lilydale need to adjust to the conditions quickly. It's a slippery footy, and clean up their ball handling. Yeah, absolutely. Leaving free kick here to Hammersley. Goes long down the line. Lots of bodies under that one. Fried in there for Scotch. All spills out. Scotch have got the numbers. Just can't quite clear it. Fried again. In and under. Umpire's picked out a holding free kick. Lilydale player there not liking how he was dealt with. Bit of push and shove. It's going to be 50. Or is it a card? He's put a card out, hasn't he? Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of a cool-down card. I don't mind that from the umpires. Don't let things get out of hand. Make a decision early just to calm the players down. So I think that's sensible umpiring. Yeah, you don't like to see the big occasion marred by anything silly, do you? Obviously, he thought he was just dealt with a little bit unfairly there. I think there was a late elbow come in there. It would have been almost a Brutus the Barber beefcake sort of move, that one. Drop the elbow on him. Umpire just saying take a few minutes to let the steam out, and we'll see you back on shortly. Good mark taken there on this occasion by Max Lumsden. Lumsden, a little cute ball there inboard. He's picked out Grimes. Tom Grimes goes long towards the forward line. Got a couple of targets. Scotch players sitting under it. High there. Umpire said that one's is okay. Just breaking down across half forward again without that second forward option to go to. Yeah, and it's a good way to keep Harris out of it, I guess, isn't it? You know, like if the ball can't get up there. On this occasion, though, well, that's a really good tackle. As you say, not having that second forward certainly hurts them because it's very much the Harris show at the moment. Quick kick forward there from O'Loughlin. Got some good smaller types that have put on some fantastic forward pressure, but just unable to win a marking contest to be able to get that deep entry into Harris. Yeah, that's the danger, isn't it? Ball almost cleared the stoppage there. It came off hands of Rupert McKenzie. Plays around the footy there.
Maxie Walker throws that one up. Sulzberger gets first hands on. Dark clears it for Scotch. Bobbly ball. He's a bit heavy on the hands, but Matt Russell gets rid of it. Sends it inside 50. Punched away from Ellis. It's going to sit there for Early. Beautiful tackle on Early. Fantastic. It's Tuthill again. Although high tackle maybe. Maybe.
Pushing the back, I believe.
Early. No, it's not his best work early. He's picked out Jack Robinson, who's been good today. Robinson put a little bit too much mustard on that one. Just a little bit heavy there for Toby Matthew to hang on to. Have another look at that. Yeah, it was high. The initial one was high. Good call. That's why they're umpiring, Matt, and we're up here.
They've actually been fantastic. I can't criticise them at all today.
No, that's right. It's always disappointing when people blame the umpires for things, and that's, I suppose, part of our game, isn't it? But they do a great job. Juggling mark taken there. Nicely done. It was Jack Foden. Goes in the Harris direction. Harris gets some quick hands off. Ball back inside 50, bobbling around. Dangerous. Scotch have got numbers around it. Just can't quite clear it at the moment. Back to Foden. Throws it on the boot. That's where composure is important. That's not the kick you needed. But anyway, they'll come away with it, Scotch. Just got to be a bit more composed in that situation. Strength there of Lilydale player Robinson shining through. Look at him go. Second and third effort. Ridden into the ground. Yeah, well, you had to be better on the tackle. Scotch player not happy. In that occasion, Jasper Krushka, but that was lazy tackling. You just needed to wrap him up. He pushed him into the ground.
It's a fantastic win by Robinson, though. A 2-on-1 to win the free kick, repel the attack.
Toby Matthew sends it inside 50. Harris sags off. Foden takes the front position. Ball beats them both. Foden almost gets it back. Scotch just not able to clear it. Scotch player pushed off. That's a high tackle, and again against Sulzberger, you can't argue with that. That was clearly high, and Stephen Blizzard will take the relieving free kick there. Caught high on that one. See the players sucking in the big ones at the moment, Matt. So we'll see how they stand up. Rupert McKenzie sends it forward. George Walker cops one in the eye. Shakes the head. Free kick against him, and that'll be Bailey Hawes. As you've said, that's a terrific battle back there. Hawes not his best disposal, but runs on to get it back. Puts it on the boot. Sends it long out towards a wing position. Scotch player McKenzie run down. Robinson chopped off across the back by Scotch. Sent forward. Lilydale have got the outnumber. Can't hold the mark, Robinson. Sorry, that was Crowden, I should say. I keep calling him Robinson. They look similar. It might be a bone of contention afterwards if they watch the game. They'll be arguing about that. They'll be saying that bloke up there needs glasses.
It's what they were doing when they had advantage, generating that spare defender really well, which Crowden's been doing himself. Scotch have made the effort to give one-on-ones head of the footy here, which you feel like is to their advantage.
Might have been touched off the boot. Not kept in play. He did the old dance around the boundary line, but boundary line won out on that occasion. Toby Matthew. He's been busy in the early stages of this third term as well. Foden indicating he's going to take this one in the ruck. It's a fairly ordinary throw. Sheriff takes it away. They might have recalled that, but no. Gathered there nicely by Early. He's a lively type. Leads the race for the ball there, Ellis. His opponent got the better of him. Fed forward McKenzie. Back to Ellis. Beautiful blind turn, Ellis. Handballs to space. Stronger body there of Lilydale, just pushing the Scotch opponent off the footy. Krushka in there. A free kick this occasion for Jasper Krushka.
Just feel like it's danger signs here for Lilydale at the moment, struggling to get their hands on the footy, and whenever they do, it's just a quick hack kick. So Scotch have a lot of momentum. They just need to put it on the scoreboard while they've got it.
Yeah, that's a great point you make. They've got to punish them. I mean, you'd certainly, if you just got here, you'd say, well, Scotch have certainly had the better of the play in this quarter, but it's all square. They're certainly not getting that scoreboard reward.
And you see it all the time when one team has momentum, they have all the forward entries, and then play just somehow seems to go end to end, and there's a goal from nothing. You feel like they'd hate for that to happen, so they want to try and hit the scoreboard while they've got this territory battle under control.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of bodies around the footy. The rain stopped and the sun shines out. That's headed goalwards there. Be off target. Nice little Jono Thurston's kicked that one just inside the touch line. So another forward opportunity here for Scotch, allows them to set up. We're just approaching 15 minutes. You can't separate them at the moment. 3-4-27 apiece.
Bit of confusion who the ruckman here is for Lilydale, so you feel like George Walker will win this one. Not their usual ruckman nominating.
It's Foden, sort of a quick hack kick forward, belted off the ground there by Matthew. The green grass. You sort of think Scotch have got to gather this here, and they do a fumble, another fumble there. It was Quillam, just not clean. Slippery ball. Quillam caught again. You keep it in. Now they've got the numerical advantage, so again another fumble. You've just got to be clean on that occasion. They just can't quite get it out. Lilydale player not happy with how he was dealt with there on that occasion. Bit of push and shove. Teammate dragging him out of it. Declan Ellis, number 52. Here's the throw in. Foden and Blizzard. Bit of a rolling maul across the ground there. Matt Chatwin and I both in our tips thought Scotch might just get it done. I said by 10 points. Matt just picked them for the win, but anyone's game at the moment. Sulzberger roving. There, the big man. Inquiring about the free kick.
This is a bit of a win for Lilydale, though. They'd be happy with these repeat stoppages, kill a bit of that momentum that Old Scotch have got.
Bit of blood
As a bit of an inspection for a bit of blood. Umpire says nothing to see here. We carry on.
Rupert McKenzie. Matthew throws it on the boot for Lilydale. Scotch have got the numbers there. They just can't quite pick it up. To open space. Oh, the player drops the mark he should have taken there. Freestone slipped at the crucial moment. Ball bobbling around the centre square. Blizzard. Good running from the big man, throws it onto the left boot. At in the Walker direction, carries all comers over Hawes' head. Dangerous position for Scotch. That was nicely done there by Blizzard, the big man. He created himself as an extra running option, not his normal role, but these are the sort of things that can generate momentum in a game.
Once again, breaking down at half forward there, though, Lilydale. They just can't find a way to get it inside 50. The Old Scotch defence setting up really well across that wall.
Scotch player appealing for a free kick there. Thought he was held on to. Lilydale just looking for the boundary line. Ooh, it's not the place you want to slip over. Right up against that fence. He's okay, though.
Studs on the concrete there, and he's just lost his feet. And those advertising hoardings, they can be very rough as well if you've ever ran your hand across those, so hopefully he's okay.
Absolutely. No, Xavier Quillam, he got up okay, which is good. Tapped down there by Rupert McKenzie. Ball heading goalwards. Good physical pressure around the footy. Escorted over the boundary line on this occasion by Max Lumsden. So, real arm wrestle here at the moment at UTAS Stadium. Rob Sowd and Matthew Chatwin. 18.5 minutes gone in the Ntfa Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. 27 apiece. Heard a whistle there. Umpires pick something out.
It's going to that man Walker in the ruck contest, I imagine. Ooh. I haven't seen what the free kick's for, but...
Well, he certainly went. He's certainly got the form from this part of the ground. Matt, hasn't he? He kicked a lovely goal from here earlier this quarter.
might not be showing up on the screen for people at home, but we've just got some more rain starting to fall here as well. So you feel like any advantage with when rain comes is a bonus. So really important set shot, this one.
As I said, he had no problem from a little bit further out. Same angle. On this occasion, it's not going to work for him. So that's behind. That's the lead to Scotch. 4-4-28 to 4-3-27. I'd just like to mention our sponsors. Great supporters of the Ntfa in the finals. Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, MCMF. We'll come back to that in a moment. That's a mark taken there across half forward by Ben Russell. Sends it goalwards. The Walker direction. George Walker. Too strong on that occasion. Too tall.
And Hawes filthy on himself. He's battled away very well against him, but just, as you said, too tall there. You feel like he did all he could to spoil, just couldn't reach the point that Walker did, and then cradled it down on the second grab. He's done really well there as a defender, but smashes the ground because he knows he's just been outmarked by a taller player.
Walker from point blank range. He puts it through. And that sends the Thistles out by 7 points. 5-4-34 to 4-3-27. I'll come back to those sponsors. As I said, MCMF, the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Jay Bogan's son, Armstrong's Insurance Brokers, Cleanaway, Jeremy Wilkinson, and LRF Sport. Great supporters and sponsors of the Ntfa and their final series. Thank you for your support. We can't do what we do without you. So great to see those local businesses supporting local football. Not long to go in this third term here, Matt Chatwin. Old Scotch by 7 points. Clever from Sulzberger over his head. Scotch are going to mop it up across the back there. Change of the angle. That's clever. Out to space. Off hands. Oh, nicely gathered there early. Clever. Inside 50. Front position there. Towed off the ground by Dark. Little 360. Lux a fortune. Sheriff. Johnny on the spot for that one. Little quick kick out of congestion, and Matt Sheriff.
I think we've seen it a couple of times though, when that old Scotch, the Lilydale defence is put under real pressure, they sort of collapse, they all get sucked towards the footy, and if you can get it out cleanly, you'll find someone in space as the 3/4 time siren sounds. So he'll get the reminder from the umpire that he's got to stay on his line as he lines up here.
Ryan Sheriff, I should say, not Matt. Matt's his cousin, Ryan. Moves in nicely. Good approach into the rain. And that's off hands, perhaps. Oh, couldn't that have been interesting?
I think he might have actually just got a bit too close to the man on the mark. It seemed a very strange, unnecessarily high kick. I think he misjudged where the man on the mark was standing.
Yeah, I think you're right. He certainly wasn't that far out, but it's often the want in the modern game. We'll have a little look there, very close to the man on the mark. That heads goalwards.
Umpire right there. Not a great deal of argument from the old Scotch player on the line, so you'd say he's made the right call.
It's a bit of a want, isn't it, of the modern game? They run very close to the man on the mark, and that can usually bring you undone with your timing. But as we head into 3/4 time, in the rain here at UTAS Stadium, Rob Soward, Matthew Chatwin, Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. It's Old Scotch seizing the momentum, 5-5-35. Lilydale 4-3-27. A quick visit of the goal scorers before we go to a little break. George Walker leading equaling all comers. He's got 3. Matt Humphrey and Daniel Ellis for singles for Old Scotch, and for Lilydale, the Jordan Harris Show, 3 goals. Single to Patrick Sulzberger. We'll be back with you shortly.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Imagine the possibility of selling beyond expectations. We're here to make that a reality. Harcourts, we make it possible.
It's all to do here. This is what you train for in your pre-season. This is what you do all the work for. The last 22 minutes of your season. And at the moment, Matt, it's Old Scotch 5-5-35, Lilydale 4-3-27, and we were just saying off air, we got the feeling that Scotch were just seizing that momentum, weren't we?
Yeah, and I know we spoke earlier about these reserves grand finals the last couple of years. It's almost been one side trading blows, the other side with a bit of momentum, and then one team gets on top, and it feels like that's Old Scotch. I'm certainly not putting a line through Lilydale just yet, but they probably want to kick the first here. I feel like with these drizzly conditions, if they have to try and kick 3 goals in a quarter, it's going to be a big ask. So this first goal is really, really important, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, and this surface is in, pristine condition despite the rain, but it's that ball skidding off the turf. It's the ball, not sticking to your fingers. It's just not like you're playing, obviously, on a dry day where things are cleaner and skills come into it.
Lilydale do have the danger man in Harris Ford if they can get it into him. They've just got to find a way to give him a chance to be the match winner, I feel.
Scotch have been terrific just across half-back, just chopping off and starving him of that opportunity. But you feel that if they can carry that half-back line and get the ball in there, he'll certainly go to work. So it's all to do. 22 minutes left in the season in the Ntfa Division 1 reserves. Fryatt comes away with it. The Bracknell product now plying his trade at Old Scotch. Ducks and weaves there, the Lilydale player. Oh, beautifully done. It's like playing like it's a dry day. There is Josh Streets. Dodging and weaving.
Expect play to continue to get stuck over on that far side. That breeze has probably picked up a little bit towards that far side of the ground. The wet conditions, it's going to be hard to move the footy. So we might see a couple of stoppages in a row out there at times this quarter.
The other thing too, I know it's a very low scoring game, but if you're Old Scotch, you've just got to keep playing your game. You can't put the cue in the rack and go, we're going to defend for 20 minutes on a wet day. You've still got to look dangerous, and as we've said, when they do go forward, lots of options.
And fresh legs is going to be important, but it's going to be hard to get those fresh legs on, being so far away from the interchange benches and whatnot. So you might just have to rely on some of that on-field leadership to get the job done.
Humphrey appealing for a free kick there. Thought he might have got held on to. Umpire said no. Lilydale player legged. That's Hammersley. He was upended. He's going to come away there with a free kick and try and give Lilydale forwards their first look at it. Drives it long inside the 50. Scotch have got the numbers. Ridge into the ground is Freestone. Lilydale keep it alive. Harris, that's an example there, Matt, of what we talked about. He just lost his opponent and, he's ruining that opportunity. He dropped what he should have taken.
He's had a couple of different opponents, but I feel like Mackenzie has won some really crucial one-on-ones. I say he just stays right on Harris's left hip for the whole quarter here.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do. Is it going to stay in? That's going to be okay. It's going to sit all right there for G. Harrison G. Clever little tap there from Walker, finds a teammate. He's absolutely overwhelmed by red and blue jumpers. Too slow on that occasion, Calamo Sign. Swamped by Demons. Lux of Fortune there. Bobbles and weaves and taken there. Lilydale, another opportunity going forward. There's Quillam underneath that. Ridden into the ground. Fright's got it. Umpire's already picked the free kick out there to Quillam. Centre half back position for Scotch. Approaching 3 minutes gone. They're up by 8 points. Legs taken out from under him as he's kicked it. They've paid that downfield. I'm not sure about that. I thought that was a little unlucky. Player trying to dive there. Sheriff, the player that had the shot on goal after the siren and touched on the line. Nice mark taken there by Humphreys. Rupert McKenzie. He's picked out the Lilydale player in Tulliel. He's dropped the mark he should have taken. Ball bobbling around dangerously. Forced through. Ellis sniffed a goal there, Matt.
And that's probably where I feel like the difference is in the game. A couple of different contributors. You've got someone popping up, taking contested mark at half forward, getting it into the dangerous prospects of Walker and Ellis. So that's where Scotch are starting to set themselves apart.
Tadil to Sulzberger. Timely hand on it there by Blizzard. It's going to come back in with some interest, you'd think. Will Gray sends it goalwards. It's gone over Walker's head. Bouncing around there, Ellis. Clever. Little chip kick across the dangerous part of the ground. Oh, Scotch player tackled there, perhaps without it. Lilydale player loses his legs. Scotch shot on goal. Walker infringed. He's going to steady George Walker, and he sends it through the middle. Just the start the Thistles wanted. Well, luck's a fortune. I mean, you make your own luck, don't you, in a grand final? And Lilydale so brave there. You can see Hawes still on the ground, not happy. Gave everything, spoiled it, but it just bobbled up. Walker sees the day.
You feel sorry for him because Hawes, he's done a fantastic job. I'd have him as one of Lilydale's better contributors thus far, but his opponent's just kicked his fourth and really having a massive influence on this contest. Just really strong, big, keeps his feet. Always in the contest in wet weather footy if you keep your feet. So that's his fourth, and that's a fantastic effort in a grand final.
And you get a bit of a feeling, Matt, with this rain coming down, that could almost be a bridge too far. I mean, I know it's early days. There's still plenty of football left in this, but you're down by 14 points. You've only kicked 4 goals for the game, so it's all to do for Lilydale. But the Country Demons, they've got a stack of heart. We know that. Coming off that terrific second semi-final win. And they're out. The Demons are away. Opportunity going forward. Blizzard, he's sort of come into his own across the back there. He's been really good for them. Heads out wide in the Mackenzie direction. He's run off Harris. Slips at the crucial time, does Lyon. Gives it back to Mackenzie, gives it back to Lyon. Boys racking up the stats. Russell, just a bobbly old kick forward. Mather tries to trap it. Oh, comes away there. Sits nicely there for Tucson. Heads goalwards. Ellis keeps his feet. Throws it onto the boot. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. Walker! Oh, number 5, George Walker. The Ellis and Walker show up forward. Old heads. Just getting it done. That could be it.
Just a combination of both will but also a bit of cleanliness with the footy. It was not pretty. A lot of bobbling. They worked it from sort of half back to the final possession being on the final goal line, but just winning crucial one-on-one contests, getting the footy going in their direction, which is crucial in this wet weather footy, and Walker gets the ultimate price on the goal line.
And you can see there too in that replay just how fast the players move backwards as well, Matthew. So always good to watch those replays. Run that fast backwards, you're in a whole heap of trouble, I reckon. But anyway, they're out to what could be a match-winning lead at the moment, Scotch. 7:6:48, Lilydale 4:4:28. We're just approaching the 7-minute mark in the last term.
Bit of a hold-up for a bit of a 6-6-6 infringement. Lilydale starting with 7 forwards. That's the lengths of rolling the dice that they're going to, but the umpires don't allow that.
Lilydale player there holding his quad. But, he grabbed at that as soon as he went to take off. Unless it is further down the leg, but he grabbed his quad just after that restart. You watch this here.
Really bad corky would be my guess there.
Yeah.
Bit of neon flesh, and that's never fun when that happens.
No, not at pace. Back to normal play there. The Scotchmen have got another look at it. Another inside 50. They're flying for everything at the moment. Ellis, he's going for the ball, but he's missed it and cleaned up the Lilydale player there in Max Foden. Worked hard today, Foden. Relieving free kick, the vice-captain. Sends it long. Through the hands of Line. Dingen.
They're a man down here at the moment, Lilydale, as the player Hawes limps off with what is very much of a sore corky, so that's why there's some spares behind the footy for Old Scotch. They want to move the footy quickly, but they're now a man down just for this minute of play, which makes it really challenging for them. As Old Scotch go forward and win a free kick across half forward here.
There's a clear hold there against Early. Josh Streets had hold of him. Early sees something, and he's picked Sulzberger out perfectly, as if Sulzberger actually called for it and got it delivered laces out to him. They need something here, Lilydale. Harris is further up the ground. They've rolled the dice. Open space here. Leading the race for the ball there is O'Loughlin. Great pace, O'Loughlin. Josh O'Loughlin breathes some life into the Demons.
Harris again, we've spoken about how they just need to get the footy to him and something will happen. So he's come up the ground, gets it away from the goal square where he's done all his damage, but a really, really smart millimetre perfect kick to the goal kicker there. As we see the replay there, Harris all the way up to the wing on the logo there. Really smart kick. Didn't try and blaze away or go for the glory himself. Just put it out into space and back the pace of his teammate there in O'Loughlin. We know he's got some toe. We've seen the flowing mullet get called for running too far. He made sure to get that one on the boot nice and quickly, and he's finished. And as you said, breathing life into this contest. Lilydale are not done yet.
Great courage and great play, and Harris was instrumental in that one. Back in the middle, Sulzberger. Tap, tap, takes it out of the air. Gives the Demons another look at it. Nice mark there across the back. On that occasion, Will Gray. He's done a little bit of that today. Has Gray. Moves it out to the wing. Mark taken there by Sheriff. He looks to move it on quickly. It's exactly the sort of game they've got to play, Scotch. You can't defend. Rupert McKenzie, 1, 2, 3 grabs. That's nicely done with a wet ball. Rupert McKenzie moves it on quickly. Goes inboard. Probably not the best option. Lilydale come away with it. What have they got, the Demons? Ball bobbling around the middle of the ground. McLaren couldn't quite grab it. Fright's in there. His opponent holds it up for Old Scotch.
They just need to continue to roll the dice here, Lilydale. You see they won the free kick, play on straight away, try and hit that 45-degree kick through the middle of the ground. They're the risks they've got to take. It might open them up the other way, but they've got to do it to try and kick a score here.
Yeah, and that's terrific that both sides have still got to play football. It's too early for Scotch to, put the cue in the rack and put the defensive walls up. And Lilydale are just rolling the dice at every opportunity. It's going to sit okay for Hammersley. Lost his feet at the crucial time. Got to keep your feet, fellas. Comes out, back to Blizzard. He's been really good across half back. Long kick out to space. Just carries the Lilydale player there in Grimes. Doesn't quite sit for him. Umpire's found a free kick. And that's going to be a free kick there to Krushka. Must have been held onto, I think. Krushka moves it on quickly into the forward area. Walker leads at it. Second grab. Little clever chip kick. Oh, not quite far enough. Finds a teammate. He goes back probably too far. Lilydale player bowled over. That was Russell. Good strength from him. Heads to Walker again. Great work from Hawes this time. But no, he's been held, the umpire says. Well, he might have had hold of that jumper there at one stage, but it looked like a nice clean contest. Hawes shaking his head. He's given his all up there, Matt, hasn't he, in that battle?
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic contest all day. You do feel sorry for him because he's done so much right. Just Walker's made him pay whenever he's got a sniff. We've seen him kick one from nigh on the 50-metre arc in the third quarter, so you feel he's going to have the length, and he's looked very accurate all day.
George Walker's going to hit this from just inside 50. We know he's got the range, sits it up beautifully, heads goalward, soft line on this occasion. 7-7-49, the Thistles. Lilydale, 5-4-34.
It's actually gone out of bounds on the full, that one. So
there you go.
No
Just while I put my glasses back on, I fastened my attention back to the play, so we'll go back to that score. It's 7-6-48 to 5-4-34.
Strange as it sounds, it's actually a small win from Old Scotch because it forces Lilydale into that dead pocket that's going to be really hard to score from when they need quick scores.
So turned it over on that occasion. The Lilydale player played on. They've just got to move it on quickly here. Sulzberger lost the handle. Bobbling around, dangerous position. Scotch another look at it. Walker with a little toe forward. Oh, just didn't quite sit there for Freestone. Oh, that's a great shot on goal. I think that's Ellis. Oh, that's where that experience comes into it. Daniel Ellis. It's been the 1-2 punch up there, hasn't it? I mean, Ellis has been in everything. Walker's been in everything. And Daniel Ellis, his second goal on grand final day. You can see Freestone here dispossessed. Ellis tackled high. Just enough wherewithal. And look at that, 3 Lilydale players there. Just couldn't get a hand on it.
Just the importance of the cleanliness in the right times as well. Just the ability to grab it cleanly, get it to the boot without any fumbling. It's obviously quite slippery out there with that weather, but I feel like that's really been the difference in the game. The ability to be clean at the most crucial times has really been the difference between the two sides.
Back in the middle of the ground, Sulzberger. He's, I should say that was Foden. He's battled well there today, giving Sulzberger the chop out. It sits there for Humphrey. Goal scorer in earlier proceedings. Hammersley sells some candy. Sends it forward. He's found a teammate there in Dwyer. He was busy in the first quarter. Haven't seen a lot of him since. It's cleared the pack. Harris is leading the race. He's got 2 on him. You'd take it through, wouldn't you, fellas? No, kept in play. Shot on goal. Oh, not quite. Not quite on that occasion. Jake O'Loughlin was involved there as well. Unfortunate for Lilydale. Fortunate for Scotch, it's a behind.
This is where time's going to start to become a real factor as well. Lilydale need to kick 4 goals essentially in a 7-minute period. So if Old Scotch can just kill a minute or 2 here, it makes things really challenging.
Dark kicks out to a contest. Humphrey just keeps it in. Mark there to Early. Takes a bounce. Takes another bounce. Takes another bounce. He's not going to get pinged for running too far, is Brody Early. He's picked a Lilydale player, and that's holding the ball. Rupert McKenzie wraps him up. Great desperation.
He's done some really nice things in the second half, McKenzie, as well. He was probably unsighted early on, but he's bobbed up to take a couple of really nice contested marks. And I feel like that's been important for Old Scotch. McKenzie popping up across half forward there, allowing Walker to stay deep. He hasn't had to come up and seek the footy like Harris has at the other end.
Sends it goalwards. He gets plenty of boot on it. Off Walker's hands, and that'll go through for one behind. They move on to 8-7-55. Lilydale 5-5-35. Rob Sowden, Matt Chatwin. We've gone 16 minutes here, and that's not what you want when you're Lilydale, when you're trying to clear the area and create something. He's basically picked Ben Russell out. The Old Scotch half-forward flanker who's going to have a shot on goal. Tight angle.
You can hear the messages coming from the bench just to tell him to take the 30 seconds. If anything, that's as much a win as the shot on goal itself.
Russell moves in. Strikes it nicely. Strikes it really nicely. He's got himself a grand final goal. And you'd think that's it.
It's a fantastic finish from a tough position there on the ground. You imagine as the night goes on, he'll start to embellish that. It was hard up against the boundary. The wind was blowing. That's a really clever finish there by Russell. And you never like to go too early, but you feel like Old Scotch would start to dare to dream here, and it's starting to become a few heads down for Lilydale. It's starting to become one of those mathematical possibilities that's not really all that realistic.
And we're playing with what I always call Lee Matthews time. He always says, you know, if you need 3 goals in 2 minutes, it's 1 goal too many. So we're almost at that sort of time. I'll just quickly mention our sponsors again, Matt, great supporters of Ntfa and Finals Football, MCMF, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Jay Bogan, Son Armstrong's Insurance Brokers, Cleanaway, Jeremy Wilkinson, and LRF Sports supporting the Ntfa in their final series. So thank you to all of them. We're just about to tick over 18 minutes. And the score check, Old Scotch 9-7-61, Lilydale 5-5-35. So difficult position here for the Demons to claw this one back. It's been a heck of a battle, Matt.
I feel like he's won some crucial one-on-ones, Mackenzie. He's had a couple of different opponents at times, Harris, and I suppose that's part of modern footy now with rotations and whatnot, that you don't always have 2 guys playing on each other for the entire duration of the match. But I feel like when he has been on him, Mackenzie, he's done a really good job to nullify Harris's influence.
He certainly has. Opportunity here for Lilydale. Harris hasn't stopped trying. The league's leading goal scorer in the Division 1 reserves throws the grass in the air. Jordan Harris sends it goalwards, strikes it nicely. It's going to work its way just a little bit too far to the left on that occasion. 5-6-36 Lilydale, Old Scotch 9-7-61. Rob Soward and Matt Chatwin, Ntfa Division 1 Reserves Grand Final. And the Thistles look like they're going to go back-to-back, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. And we checked the score coming out from Longford as well. Unfortunately, their women did not get the W here today. Old Launcestonians winning that through to the grand final. So it would be good for the club to get 1 win on the board for the day, having the women's side go down. So they'll be really happy with that result. And as you said, back-to-back, huge effort.
I'm looking forward to the call in the senior grand final where both sides have only 1 loss between them. I'll bring Snow that one. That's gone really high, and that's a great mark. Oh, fantastic mark under enormous pressure there. Will Clark.
And you can see Old Scotch are in no hurry here. They just want to soak up as many seconds as they can.
Fry it.
Might be a bit of mysterious cramp seeking into a couple of guys here in a moment. But time's their friend. They just want to soak up these last couple of minutes here and really enjoy it.
Looking to move it on, Scotch. They want another goal. Back towards the middle. Good pressure there from Sulzberger. All bobbling around. O'Loughlin feeds it back inboard. Misses the target. Scotch have got the numbers. They'll come away with it. Clever hands there from Freestone. Back to Russell. He drives it forward. Sheriff underneath that one, couldn't take it. Lots of Scotch jumpers around there. They're still full of run, the Thistles. That's been the difference, I think, today. Freestone sends it goalwards. Ball bobbling around a dangerous position there. Lilydale won't want to concede another one. Krushka rides his opponent into the ground. Another tackle there. Well done, Krushka. They're playing like they're behind Old Scotch. Mackenzie's in there as well. He's had a really good 2.5 quarters, Matt, as you indicated earlier.
Their pressure's just been relentless in this last quarter as well. We said who could do it better for longer, and I feel like it's definitely showing that Old Scotch have hit the finish line hard, whereas Lilydale have relied on too few and probably starting to run out of petrol tickets.
We're inside the last 30 seconds. Umpire Max Walker says play on. Lilydale have been courageous, there's no doubt about that, Matt. They've certainly have left it all out there, the Demons. As we said, upset Scotch in the second semi, but it's been the Thistles, it's been full of running. They've got all the time in the world. It's a mark taken there by Kieran Towns. He's going to kick after the siren. There it is. No matter what the result of the kick, Old Scotch will be the premiers. That's not his best effort, but it's all over. Old Scotch 9-7-61. Winning the grand final 5-6-36 over Lilydale. And we'll go through the goal kickers, Matt, for Old Scotch. George Walker, absolutely outstanding effort up forward from the number 73. His 9th premiership, I'm told, in all football. He's kicked 5. Daniel Ellis, who was just so dangerous up there in that forward pocket next to him with 2. Singles to Ben Russell and Matthew Humphrey. For Lilydale, Matt Nunn tried harder than Jordan Harris with 3. Jake O'Loughlin and Patrick Sulzberger with singles. But as the latter position probably belied during the season, Old Scotch probably were the best side throughout the year. Upset in that second semi, and they've certainly bounced back with a vengeance today. Yeah,
absolutely. 16 wins from 16 games throughout the regular season. I know both coaches commented on, and you spoke about the conditions they played in that first semi-final out at Hillwood was raining sidewards, I'm led to believe, so the conditions favoured Lilydale. They might have probably hoped for a bit more rain here today to repeat that, but there's no doubt that the Old Scotch side have been the premier side in this competition all year, and they've done the job here today and gone back-to-back, which is a fantastic effort. Whenever you can keep a group together and win 2 in a row, I think it's a fantastic effort.
We're just getting ready down there for the presentation, so we'll head down there to Will shortly. But the game played in pretty good spirits. I mean, we did say there was a little bit of to and fro there at one stage, but you expect that in a grand final from the 2 best sides, and they can certainly hold their heads up, Lilydale. You know, it's been a terrific effort from them all season, and as we said, to come out and win that second semi. But Scotch certainly, like champion sides do, Matt, they regrouped. Easy to drop the bundle, but they regrouped and went out to Morven Park last week, gave Evandale the rounds of the table out there, and came here today full of purpose. And they just got away from Lilydale, didn't they? They sort of worked with them, but then overran them.
Yeah, I feel like they probably just had a more even contribution across the entire team. I feel like at times both sides got on top around the stoppages and had their turns with the momentum and winning the clearances. It was just the amount of winners ahead of the footy. We spoke about George Walker was a fantastic target for him, kicking the goals he did. Dan Ellis always looked dangerous. We spoke about Mackenzie coming into the game. I thought Early did some nice things across half forward. Whereas, and we said on the call that it was really Harris or nothing head of the footy for Lilydale. They just needed someone else to give him a chop out ahead of the footy, and that's probably where they just relied on too few for too long. Lilydale, and that's where, as the game wore on, they started to run out of legs, and it felt like Old Scotch really finished the game running on top of the ground because they had the ability to spread the load across a lot of different contributors.
Certainly did. Looks like we're ready just about for the presentations. And I will just quickly mention the 2 legends that walked the cup out at the start of the game. Les Arnold for Lilydale and Gray Fotheringham for Old Scotch. I mean, gee whiz, they're 2 names that's etched in folklore for both their clubs. Gray Fotheringham will obviously have the honour, I'd imagine, of walking the cup up to present. It's one of the co-presenters to the Old Scotch captain and coach. Just finalising preparations down there. I'll quickly again mention Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, MCMF, J. Bogan, Son Armstrong's Insurance Brokers, Cleanaway, Jeremy Wilkinson and LRF Sport. Wonderful sponsors and supporters of the Ntfa and their final series, and going to be different next year, Matt. Football in Tasmania changing next year, and we're excited about what that might look like. But today, in this game, it's all Old Scotch. Returning back-to-back premiers, and both these same sides doing battle in the senior event coming to you shortly. Michael Maney behind the microphone, coming up in the next little while. 2 o'clock bounce down for that one. Stay tuned here as we are getting ready for the presentations, followed by the Division 1 Senior Grand Final, the 2 best sides all year. They split the honours too, Matt. throughout the year in the roster games. One win each, and then Lilydale obviously got the better of them.
Yeah.
In that second semi.
Yeah, you feel like that's a result which could genuinely go each way. Like, I feel like momentum in that game is going to be really important in terms of which side can be better for longer again in the senior game is going to be the real test, and I feel like whichever team starts well will be super important, as I think we're about ready to start down here.
He was about to make his appearance from behind the banner.
Just a bit of stage fright.
Bit of da-da. Bit like a magic show, isn't it, really?
But you feel like it's just that little bit of boost that sometimes might be the difference in the senior game, as strange as that might sound.
Here we go down to Will for the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to both sides in the 2024 Reserves Division 1 Grand Final. I'd like Colin Foon to present the umpires representative with their medals from today's Grand Final. I'd now like to invite Lilydale coach Jacob Crowden to say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Ntfa for putting on today. Such a great day, and it's really good to be a part of. Next, well done to Scotch. Really deserved it. He's played some pretty good football all year, and yeah, the benchmark in the comp, and we've had some really good games all year and really enjoyed again today, even though we didn't come away with the win. So well done, enjoy the night. To my boys, well done. Keep your heads high. We battled hard. We'll regroup and we'll go again. Thank you.
Now I'd like to ask Colin Foon to present the Best on Ground medal that goes to number 74 for Scotch, George Walker. 73. Now I'd like to call winning coach Sam Lyon, Old Scotch, to say a few words.
G'day everyone. Thanks Lilydale. As you said, Jake, we had some great clashes during the year. Unfortunately for you guys, you didn't go. Unfortunately for you guys, you didn't go as well as our guys. Well done to our guys, the whole squad. Great team effort. Great to have all you young fellas and you older guys helping out. Thanks for the Ntfa. Looking forward to next year's 3 divisions. I'm glad Lilydale is still in it, in our division, I mean. And thanks for all your work, especially being volunteers. It's great that we have such a great competition, well run. And thank you, and we'll look forward to the celebrations, boys.
I will now move on to the presentation of the winning medals. Number 4, Dan Ellis. Number 7, Ben Dark. Number 14, James Lee. Number 15, Brad Fryatt. Number 18, Ryan Sheriff. Number 21, Xavier Quillam. Number 22, Jasper Krushka. Number 26, Jeremy Tooson. Number 29, Brodie Early. Number 30, Will Gray. Number 31, Alex McKenzie. Number 35, Josh Freestone. Number 36, Harry G. Number 37, Matt Russell. Number 38, Ben Russell. Number 40, Callum O'Sine. Number 41, Stephen Blissard. Number 45, Will Clark. Number 46, Matt Humphrey. Number 47, Josh Lyne. Number 54, Rupert McKenzie. Number 63, Kieran Towns. Number 73, George Walker. And the captain, number 2, Ricky Evans. Now, like Damien Ryan, to present the pennant to the winning president, Jim Dennis. Now, like old Scotch legend Gray Fotheringham, to present the winning cup to Ricky Evans.